फर्स्ट विजन वेलकम्स यू टू द वर्ल्ड ऑफ सिविल सर्विसेज। फर्स्ट विजन सिविल सेवा की दुनिया में आपका स्वागत करता है। टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस यूपीएससी प्रिलिमिनरी एग्जामिनेशन क्वेश्चन पेपर ऑफ जनरल स्टडीज पेपर 1। First vision has divided the question paper in different parts. In this part we have taken questions as from Indian polity and international relations. Total 16 questions came from this part and 13 questions were from Indian polity, 3 questions were from international relations. Now let us first take question asked from Indian polity. Question number 1. Which article of the Constitution of India safeguards one's right to marry the person of one's choice? So the correct answer is option B, Article 21. Because in Lata Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh 2006 case, the Supreme Court viewed the right to marry as a component of right to life and liberty under Article 21 of Indian Constitution. Let us take other options also. Article 19 talks about freedom of speech. Article 21 talks about practice and propagation of religion. Article 29 talks about protection of interest of minorities. Question number 2. With reference to land reforms in independent India, which one of the following statement is correct? Statement A. Sealing laws were aimed at family holdings and not on individual holdings. This statement is wrong because sealing laws were imposed on individual, not on family holdings. Statement number B. The major aim of land reform was providing agriculture land to all the landless. This statement is right. Let us take other statements also. It results in cultivation of cash crops as a predominant form of cultivation. This statement is wrong because majority of India's area was under cultivation of food grains and cereals, not on cash crops as per the economic survey of 2017 and 18. Option D. Land reforms permits no exemption to ceiling limits. This statement is also wrong because a large number of exemptions to ceiling limits were permitted by most states on certain categories of land. These were tea, coffee, rubber plantation and other specialized farm, etc. So the correct answer is option B. The major aim of land reform was providing agricultural land to all the landless. Question number 3. Under which schedule of the Constitution of India can transfer to tribal land to private party for mining be declared null and void? So the correct answer is option B, 5th schedule. Because 5th schedule of the Constitution deals with the administration and control of scheduled area. Under the 5th schedule, the governor may by public notification direct that any particular act of the parliament or the legislature of the state shall not apply to scheduled area or any part of the state or shall apply to the scheduled area. Question number 4. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. As per the recent amendment of Indian Forest Act 1927, forest dwellers have right to fell the bamboo grown on forest area. This statement is not correct because the Indian Forest Amendment Bill 2018 permits felling and transit of bamboo grown in non-forest area. However, bamboo grown on forest land would continue to be classified as tree and would be guided by the existing legal restrictions. Statement number 2. As per the Scheduled Tribes and other traditional forest dwellers, Recognition of Forest Rights Act 2006, bamboo is a minor forest produce. This statement is right. Statement number 3. The Scheduled Tribe and other traditional forest dwellers, Recognition of Forest Right Act 2006 allows ownership of minor forest produce to forest dwellers. This statement is also right because the Forest Right Act of 2006 for the first time defined minor forest produce as including bamboo, tendu and many other things. It also gave tribals and other traditional forest dwellers the right to ownership, access to collect, use and dispose of minor forest produce. So we have to tell the correct statements. The right answer is option B 2 and 3 only. Question number 5. Consider the following statements. The 44th Amendment of the Constitution of India introduced an article placing the election of Prime Minister beyond judicial review. This statement is wrong. Statement number 2. The Supreme Court of India struck down the 99th Amendment of the Constitution of India as being violative of independence of judiciary. This statement is right. And here we have to select which of the statement given above is are correct. So the correct answer is option B, 2 only, because 99th Amendment replaced the system of appointing judge to the Supreme Court and High Court with a new body called National Judicial Appointment Commission (NJAC), and this amendment was struck down by the Supreme Court, saying it as unconstitutional on October 2015. Question number 6. The ninth schedule was introduced in the Constitution of India during the prime membership of. The right answer is option A, Jawaharlal Nehru, because the ninth schedule was added by the first Constitutional Amendment Act of 1951 to reduce the scope of judicial review in the matters of land reforms and zamindari abolition. Originally in 1951, the ninth schedule contained only 13 acts and regulations, but at present their number is 282. Question number 7. With reference to the Constitution of India, consider the following statements. Statement number 1. No high court shall have the jurisdiction to declare any central law to be constitutionally invalid. This statement is wrong. Statement number 2. An amendment to the Constitution of India cannot be called into question by the Supreme Court of India. This statement is also wrong. Which of the statement given above is are correct? So the correct answer is option D. Neither one nor two are correct. Because the Constitution itself gives the power of judicial review both to the Supreme Court as well as High Courts. Judicial review is the power of judiciary to examine the constitutionality of legislative enactment and executive order of both central and state governments. On examination, if they are found to be violative of constitution, then they can be declared as illegal and unconstitutional by judiciary. Question number 8. With reference to the Constitution of India, prohibition or limitation or provision contained in the ordinary law cannot act as prohibition or limitation on the constitutional power under Article 142. It could mean which one of the following? So the correct answer is option B. The Supreme Court of India is not constrained in the exercise of its power by laws made by the Parliament. Since Article 124 to Article 147 in Part 5 of the Constitution of India deals with the organization, independence, jurisdiction, power, procedure, and so on of the Supreme Court, and Article 142 is between Article 124 to Article 147. Question number 9. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. The motion to impeach a judge of the Supreme Court of the India cannot be rejected by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha as per the Judge Inquiry Act of 1968. This statement is wrong because Speaker of Lok Sabha may admit the motion or refuse to admit the motion for the impeachment of Supreme Court judges. Statement 2. The Constitution of India defines and gives detail of what constitutes incapacity and proved misbehavior of the judges of the Supreme Court of India. This statement is also wrong because the Constitution nowhere defines the term incapacity and proved misbehavior of the judges. Statement number 3. The details of the process of impeachment of judges of the Supreme Court of India are given in the Judge Inquiry Act 1968. This statement is right. Statement number 4. If the motion of the impeachment of judge is taken for voting, the law requires the motion to be backed by each house of the parliament and supported majority of total membership of that house and by not less than two-thirds of the total members of that house present and voting. This statement is right because the address to remove Supreme Court judge must be supported by a special majority of each house of the parliament, that is a majority not less than two-thirds of the members of that house present and voting. Which of the statement given above are correct? So the correct answer is option C, 3 and 4 only. Question number 10. Which one of the following suggests that the governor should be an eminent person from outside the state and should be detached figure without intense political links or should not have taken part in politics in recent past? The correct answer is option C, Sarkaria Commission of 1983, because Sarkaria Commission gave its recommendation for the selection of governors. Question number 3. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. The Parliament Prevention of Disqualification Act 1959 exempts several posts from disqualification on the grounds of office of profit. This statement is right. Statement number 2. The above mentioned act was amended 5 times. This statement is also right because it has been amended in 1916, 1992, 1993, 2006 and 2013. Statement number 3. The term office of profit is well defined in the Constitution of India. This statement is wrong. Which of the following statement given above is are correct? So the correct answer is option A 1 and 2 only. Question number 12. With reference to Legislative Assembly of the State of India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The Governor makes a customary address to members of the House at the commencement of the first session of year. This statement is right because Governor can address the legislature at the commencement of the first session after each general election and the first session of each year. Statement 2. When a state legislature does not have a rule on a particular matter, it follows the Lok Sabha rule on that matter. This statement is wrong because Speaker of the state legislature is the final interpreter of the provision of the Constitution of India, rules of procedure and conduct of business of assembly. So Speaker can do whatever he pleases and do not require to follow Lok Sabha rule. Which of the following statements given above is are correct? So the correct answer is option A, one only. Question number 13. In the context of polity, which one of the following would you accept as the most appropriate definition of liberty? Here, option D, opportunity to develop oneself fully, seems to be the most appropriate answer because on NCERT class 9 social science democratic politics it is given that liberty means there are no unreasonable restriction on the citizen in what they think, how they wish to express their thoughts, and the way they wish to follow up their thoughts in action. So the correct answer is option D, opportunity to develop oneself fully. Now let us take the questions asked from international relations. Question number 1. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. The United Nations Convention Against Corruption has a protocol against the smuggling of migrants by land, sea and air. The Protocol Against the Smuggling of Migrants by Land, Sea and Air, it comes under the United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime. Hence, statement 1 is incorrect. Statement number 2. United Nations Convention Against Corruption is the ever first legally binding anti-global anti-corruption instrument. This statement is correct because it is the only legal binding universal anti-corruption instrument, and this convention covers many different forms of corruption such as bribery, trading in influence, abuse of function and various acts of corruption in the private sector. Hence statement 2 is correct. Statement number 3. A highlight of United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime is the inclusion of a specific chapter against returning assets to their rightful owner from whom they have been taken illicitly. This statement is wrong because returning assets to their rightful owner from whom they have been taken illicitly included under the United Nations Convention Against Corruption UNCAC. Statement number 3. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes is mandated by its member state to assist in implementation of both United Nations Convention Against Corruption and United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime. This statement is correct. Which one of the statements given above are correct? So the correct answer is option C, 2 and 4 only because statement number 2 and statement number 4 are correct. Question number 2. Which of the following adopted a law on data protection and privacy for its citizens known as General Data Protection Regulation on April 2006 and started implementation of it from 25th May 2018? So the correct answer is option C, the European Union. Question number 3. Recently, India signed a deal known as Action Plan for Prioritization and Implementation of Cooperation Areas in the Nuclear Field with which of the following countries? So the correct answer is option B, Russia. On October 2018, India and Russia inked action plan for prioritization and implementation of cooperation areas in nuclear field during their ninth joint summit. So these are the questions asked from Indian polity and international relations. And First Vision has already uploaded the question asked from History of India, Art and Culture and Indian national movements. The link is given below and you can go through it. And on the next part of the UPSC 2019's preliminary examination analysis, we will take question asked from geography part. Please like, share and subscribe First Vision YouTube channel so that you will not miss the video of questions from geography part, and also you can get the regular updates of the video which will be uploaded on the First Vision channel.